Hello students, last class we started the new lesson in the science. The second lesson is matter around us pure? So in this lesson already we learned students what are substances, what are the types of substances, what are the mixture and what are the types of the mixture. And already we learned in 8th standard student what is a solution, what are the types of solution, what are the components of solution and what are the properties of solution, is it right? And already we learned about suspension and as well as also a colloidal solution. Okay, the types of colloidal solution, what are the components of colloidal solution and what are the properties of a colloidal solution. So in this way students, today we are going to discuss about the new concept in this lesson, separating the mixture. Okay, separating the mixture, the methods of separate the components of a mixture. There's so many different kinds of separating techniques we can observe. The most of the naturally occurring substance which we see around us are mixture. To study the individual components and to use them, we need to separate them. So now we will discuss the various methods of separating mixture. The separating the components of mixture, different methods of separation are used to get individual components from mixture. Already we know student, there are two different kinds of mixture, heterogeneous mixture and homogeneous mixture. The heterogeneous mixture can be separated into their respective constituents by simple and physical methods like hand picking, sieving, filtration. The physical method used for separation mixture: filtration, centrifugation, separating phenol, sublimation, chromatography, distillation, fractional distillation and the crystallization. Okay students, so the first of all we study how to separate a mixture of solids by using various methods. The mixture of two solids can be separated by using suitable solvents. Say mixture of sugar and sand. Which solvent should be take? Think over it student. Water will be taken because water will dissolve. Okay, so instead of sugar we can also take the salt also. Salt, but sand will not remain insoluble. So in a beaker a mixture of sand and the salt is taken and water is added to it. The mixture is constantly stirred with the help of a glass rod. Sugar will dissolve or salt will dissolve, but the sand will not dissolve. Now we can easily separate it with the help of filtration using a funnel fitted with filter paper. So by pouring the solution slowly into the funnel, the sugar or a salt solution will pass through the filter paper and we will get collected in the beaker and sand will remain on the filter paper. So we can separate sand from salt solution, and to separate salt dissolved in water also. If salt solution is slowly heated and evaporated, what will happen? Yes, water will evaporate, leaving behind the crystals of salt. So like this we can separate the mixture of salt and sand. Also we can separate sulfur and sand. Now which solvent should be used? Because sulfur does not dissolve in water. So let us try some other solvent. Sulfur dissolve in carbon disulfide. So here instead of water we taking one of the solvent, it is a carbon disulfide, and dissolve this mixture into carbon disulfide and then filtering. sulfide will dissolve and carbon disulfide, leaving behind the sand on the filter paper. Then we can separate the sulfur by using evaporation technique. Clear, student? And next we move on to the another one separation technique to separate a mixture of solid and liquid. And we will study the method used to separate. If the solid is insoluble in the liquid, this method is used to separate will be simple filtration. The apparatus as shown here, we are going to separate a mixture of chalk which is insoluble in water. Can be done by a process filtration. By taking the funnel and filter paper, it should be folded to cone like structure and fit this cone in this funnel. The surface of the funnel wet that it stick to the funnel, and now you can pour the mixture of chalk solution. Okay. So when you filter this chalk particle, the particle will not pass through the paper, okay, pass through the solution, but they can present on a filter paper. Somewhat, the chalk will remain as a residue on the filter paper. The clear water will be separated in the beaker kept below. So this method of filtration we use in our daily life also. Try to remember, students, where we use it to filtration. For filtering the tea, we use tea strainer in our house. So another method to separate solid from liquid is the method of centrifugation. Now let us first of all the study about centrifugation. The centrifugation is a process of separating the solid from liquid by rotating the mixture okay, or spinning the mixture very high speed in a centrifuge. Here a simple diagram has been made and they show the 4 test tubes. They are attached to one place. At the center place, the tubes are rotated high speed. These test tubes are filled with equal volumes of the mixture of solid in liquid. For example, we take the milk, okay, and when the test tube are rotated at very high speed, the solid particles settle down and then they can be easily separated. Even in the labs, this method is used to separate precipitate from the water or liquid. And also in dairy, the dairy owners separate the cream from milk by centrifugation. Milk is rotated very high speed. The cream separated and settle down. Even water can be separated from the milk. But in this case, butter not settle down. It floats on the surface of milk and can be separated. If the solid is soluble in liquid, and how to separate here? We have to done the solid is not soluble, but if the solid is dissolves in liquid, and how to separate it? In this case, the separation can be done by evaporation process. You already studied in your previous chapter what is evaporation. When a liquid changes into vapor state by heating, then the process is called evaporation. Now, if you dissolve salt in water, if you dissolve common salt in water, it dissolves. How to separate them from water? So let us take one example to separate salt from water. The common salt which is used in our house, dissolve it in water. It forms a clear solution. Now, how to separate them? You have to evaporate it by heating. Even if you keep it some time, water will slowly evaporate it, leaving behind the salt. But do this process faster, salt solution should be heated with the help of burner. Water evaporates heating behind the salt even from sea water, which contains the large amount of common salt, the large percentage of common salt in a sea water. The common salt is separated from water by process evaporation. Only see, water is stored in shallow tanks and it allowed to evaporate on its sunlight. Okay, evaporates on its the sunlight. So with the help of the heat of the sun, the water evaporates, the living behind the salt. Then this crude salt is obtained. So can we further the purified it and can be sent to the market. You must also see some more the blue or block ink at home. It's blue or block ink. It's a mixture of a dye in a water. How to separate? Because it's soluble in water, it also can be separated by evaporation. Here, the black ink is not heated directly because this block ink will be decomposed on heating. So, it is heated over a beaker containing water. So, water is heated first of all and then water evaporates and steam forms. So, when the formation of steam, then is the ink taken in a watch glass which is kept over the beaker. So, then we call it easily the water bath. Okay, something will evaporate. Now think that what is that substance which is evaporated? Water is evaporating, leaving behind the ink, blue ink or a block ink, whatever it is. So now this ink has been left here. It's mixture of solid in liquid, but solid is completely dissolved in water and we are separated by evaporation process. Okay students, and next we move on to the another method to separate solid from liquid is chromatography. Now what is chromatography? In simple words, chromatography is a method of separating two or more solid dissolved in a liquid depending upon their solubility. The solubility should be different now. Here an activity can be performed in the lab. This we can easily do it in our laboratory, in the school only student. Take a black sketch pen. The method which we use will be paper, the chromatography, because the chromatography is many types and here we are using paper chromatography only. A thin strip of filter paper is taken as shown in the diagram and a block sketch pen is taken. Now by this method we can show that the ink is not a pure substance, is a mixture of many substances. A line is drawn say about 2 centimeter from edge and very small spot is made on the line with the help of the black sketch pen. The filter paper then clamped the suspended inside the cylinder filled with the little water so that the lower end is dipped in water and then keep it some time. After some time you will see and observe the water start rising up. The ink is soluble in water, it dissolves in it and the different component present in the ink rise up with the water. Now these solid substances present in the ink has different solubilities. So they rise up to different height, can be separated. After some times you will find various colored spots at various different distances. These spots may be pink, blue, green in color. These are all the color spots and these are the solid substances present in the ink. And this paper now is called chromatography. Okay, so this process we call as a chromatography, and this paper we call it is a chromatograph. This paper chromatograph can be used to separate the solid substances which are present in the ink dissolved in water. Now, if two liquids are mixed together and they do not dissolve each other, like kerosene and water, the kerosene not dissolve in water, and how to separate mixture of two immiscible liquids. This can be done by using a simple apparatus known as a separating funnel. Okay students, what we call it's a separating funnel. Now in the separating funnel, a mixture is poured. The kerosene is lighter in weight. The kerosene will remain at the top and the water will remain at the bottom because it's heavy than compared to the kerosene. It's allowed to stand for its heavy. So in this reason, so it remain at the bottom. Clear student? It's allowed to stand for some time, and then after some time the stopcock is opened and water is collected first. Then closing it and another beaker, the kerosene oil can be collected. So two immiscible liquid can be separated by using a simple apparatus that is called the separating funnel. Even oil and water do not mix with each other, so oil and water can be separated by using separating funnel. During the extraction of iron, the impurities has to separate it from the iron. These impurities are called as a slag. Clear student? Which is lighter in weight, which floats on the surface of the molten iron, and here also separated from same method. Next we move on to the another separation technique. When two liquids are miscible with each other, then how to separate them? Miscible is nothing but they are mixed with each other, so it's a homogeneous mixture. To separate a mixture of two miscible liquids, the method used is distillation. Now let us see what is distillation. The distillation is evaporation followed by the condensation. In this process, the liquid is heated so that it converts into vapors, and then these vapors are cooled to condense and to get back the liquid. So let us now and study how a distillation is done to separate a mixture into the miscible liquids. The apparatus, so we can prepare as shown in figure. Settle like this is the distillation flask in which the mixture of acetone and water is taken, which are miscible with each other, and fitted with a cork, and thermometer is also kept. Thermometer is used to record the temperature because acetone and water have different boiling point. The boiling point of acetone is 56 degrees Celsius and that of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So care has to be taken that the temperature does not rising at the till the end, okay, the 56 degree Celsius, so that only acetone has evaporated because we have to separate them each other, and this distillation flask is then connected to the condenser water, then we call it a water condenser. This condenser consists of an inner tube and outer jacket through which water is continuously circulated to cool the vapors flowing through the inner tube. So this beaker is placed here to collect the liquid. Now the operator setting this. Heating is continuously with the help of burner and temperature has to be maintained. It should not rise above the 56 degree Celsius. Clear student? So in this way we can also separate out the mixture, immiscible mixture. Okay, it should not rise about the 56 degree Celsius. The acetone will vaporize first as its boiling point is less than the water. Okay, vapor will rises up and pass it into its inner tube. Here it will get cooled by the water floating through the outer jacket of the condenser. So in this way we can collect the acetone in a beaker. We will be collected in the another beaker. The water will be left behind. Clear, students? So this is about the distillation process. Okay, shall I continue the next class? Thank you, students. So we will discuss the next separating techniques in a mixture.